Let's continue to investigate this Prepare to Share tool in Macabacus. If we go back up to the Macabacus section of the ribbon, on the left-hand side under Workbook, if we click into Share, let's click Prepare to Share. This dialog box comes up. We're going to investigate these 4 little features that we have turned on here. We want to look at the ability to delete hidden rows and columns, which you can tell by the shield, it could be a security concern. The ability to collapse grouped rows and columns, and also remove charts and remove watches. Before we run the tool, let's hop back over into Excel and familiarize ourselves with what each of these things are. Let's go ahead and investigate some hidden rows and columns. As we can see out here between column M and column O, we have a hidden column, column N. There may be some sensitive information in there, and this is the reason why it might be really nice to have Macabacus go through, find those hidden rows or columns, and delete those out of our file for us. As we can see down the left-hand side of this file, we have some groupings that have been applied to the rows. It might be great if Macabacus could go through and collapse these groupings for us. For example, if we were to collapse this one and collapse the one on top of it, with these collapsed, it makes these headings look like a really nice table of contents, which really will clean up our file before we go ahead and send it out. Let's just open them back out and then investigate the next feature. Macabacus also has the ability to delete charts and watches from our files. Now, we have an example of a chart below, which is pretty self-explanatory, but let's investigate what a watch is in Excel and why we might want to delete that using Macabacus. We can evaluate which watches are set up in Excel by going into the watch window. Let's go up into the Formulas section in the ribbon. We're going to tap the Alt key and then M for Formulas, and now W, which is right up here, for a watch window. As soon as this dialog box opens, we could go over to a cell, for instance, this cell that we'd like to watch, and click Add Watch. As soon as we click the Add button, we are now watching that cell, which is really helpful. No matter where we travel around in this file, even if we go to another tab, we're always going to be watching that value. Really helpful to set up, and a lot of people will like to set up these watches in their files. What's great about Macabacus is it can go through and delete all those watches that have been installed by a previous user to get the file ready before we send it to a colleague or externally to a client. Let's investigate just how that tool works. Let's go ahead now and run the Prepare to Share tool. So we go up to the Macabacus section of the ribbon, over to the left where it says Share, and click Prepare to Share. As we can see, we have these 4 options checked on. Delete hidden rows, columns, collapse grouped rows and columns. We want to remove charts and remove watches. Let's go ahead and apply all these changes to this workbook. Let's click OK and see what happens. What we can see here is Macabacus has done all the things that we had asked. Over on the right-hand side, there was a hidden column. It's now been deleted. On the left-hand side, we can see that the row groupings have all been collapsed. If we start to open them back up, on the second one, we can see, just as we had asked, the chart has been deleted. Now let's check for the watches. We're going to open the watch window, Alt, M, W, and we can see that all the watches have also been taken out of this file. This is great, since this Prepare to Share tool is helping us to remove potentially sensitive information, but also helping us to just clean up our files before we send them along to colleagues or to our external clients. If you're enjoying these tips and would like to see more of our content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you soon in the next video.